Welcome everyone, it's Grandma Mo, and I've been doing a lot of home renovations. You retire and all this maintenance that you just kind of put off, you finally get to. So it's been a little tough to make some videos, but definitely watching UCLA and trying to watch Stanford, but we can't. I can't find them. They were getting posted on YouTube, and I been really interested in Stanford and UCLA and some of the West Coast teams here that, I decided to just cover them and a few other teams. I've been watching UConn, but UConn's just blowing everybody out, and it's not even fun to watch them. I mean, they're such a great team, but they put that press on, and you just, before you know it, it's 20-0, and it's just not that much fun to watch. I mean, you kind of watch for the other team and see if they have any players that catch your eye, and it is what it is. So UCLA, for their part, have been, they've been putting a romp on some teams also. So UCLA played Maryland, which I thought was going to be a better game, but the first quarter maybe by halftime, but then UCLA just put their foot down, and they're not doing the things that UConn does. That UConn full court presses the entire game, whether they're up 30 or up 2, and that threw UCLA off in the tournament. That's how they lost to UConn last year, and they are a much better team this year. I mean, Lauren Betts is Lauren Betts, and she's hard to stop because she's 6'7". If she gets the ball down low, it's money 90% of the time. And, you can do things. And last year, she was the only one that really performed. Everybody else kind of just didn't have a good game. And this year, they're so much better. Kiki Rice has been playing so well. And Ledger Walker had a fantastic game against Maryland. She was just hitting threes, and it was really nice to see her have a good game. And then Gabrielle Hawkes, terrific. And it doesn't have to be all Lauren Betts. She only scored 11 points in this game. It's, just Neepkins. Hawkes had 22 points. She was the leading scorer. Ledger Walker had 17. She almost had a triple-double. 9 rebounds and 8 assists. Terrific game for Charlize Ledger Walker. Been waiting to see her just really kind of take hold of the offense. And between her and Kiki Rice, Kiki only had 8 points. So your two normal leading scorers for UCLA, we're just going along, let everybody else do their part. So they had 5 players in double figures. And then Sienna Betts was almost in double figures. She had 9 points. So UCLA has 5 players that can just nail you, which is really nice to see. And it's going to be interesting, and they're getting pushed a little bit by some highly ranked teams. Everybody talks about the SEC, but, the Big 12 or Big 10, Big 10, Big 12. The Big 10, is filled with top 25 teams. So, Maryland, when they played them, was ranked, they're 17-3. They're ranked 15th, and they beat them by 30. UCLA, third-ranked team. They're still giving South Carolina the nod over them, but I don't know if that's going to change. South Carolina's got to go up against Vanderbilt coming up here, and Vanderbilt's undefeated. Vanderbilt, what an interesting story that is. You have their coach who is a former UConn player. And interestingly enough, I was just watching some the no off season, and they mentioned my alma mater, which is the University of Rhode Island, and they are leading the Atlantic 10 right now, which is really cool. When I played, the NCAA had just taken over women's basketball. If you want a little history, the NCAA technically took over in 1982, but in 1982 teams were given the option to still play in the AIAW or go to the NCAA, which in 83, everybody went to NCAA. But in 83 and 84, my junior and senior seasons, only 16 teams made the tournament, so you had to win your conference. Well, the Atlantic 10 looked a lot different back then. The Atlantic 10 had Penn State, Temple, and Rutgers. And you had to get by all three of them to make it to the championship. In my senior year, we did. We went up against Penn State, but they were like 11th in the country. And I suppose we would have been a top 25 team if they had actually done that kind of stuff then. But anyway, little history. Penn State went on to the NCAA tournament that year. I don't even remember how they did, but that's the year USC won with Cheryl Miller and the McGee twins. You know, I always find it funny. I mean, Cheryl Miller was a great player. She was a fantastic player. She was doing things that, you know, Diana Taurasi does these days. Or, well, Diana Taurasi's old now, too. But you have players that are 6'1", 6'2", that can dribble like guards. Well, Cheryl Miller was doing that. You know, I'm 5'6", and I would zip all around the floor and, you know, do all that. But when you saw Cheryl Miller doing that, I mean, I suppose she was as quick, but she's just taller. And it was unique then. I mean, it's not that other players couldn't do it, but you didn't see it. And if they did, you know, if you didn't get any press, nobody saw it. So it is what it is. But back to Maryland and UCLA. So they win by 30, 25 points in the first quarter. They scored over 20 points every single quarter. And that gets you, you know, almost 100 points. They scored 25, 22, 26, and 24. Maryland 17, 18, 12, and 20. So Lauren Betts, 5 rebounds, 11 points. She played 22 minutes. So she played the least out of the starters, which was cool. I mean, give other... Dukelik. I love Angela Dukelik. I love the way she plays. I wish they would put them both in at the same time and do a high-low. You know, give the ball to Betts at the foul line and just throw it down low to Dukelik, or vice versa. I wish they would implement that more, because I've seen it a couple times and it worked fantastic. Anyway, Neepkins, you know, steady Eddie Neepkins, 16 points for her, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Hawkes, like I said, 22 points. Kiki Rice, 8 points. Ledger Walker, like I said, almost a triple-double. 17 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. Just fantastic. Dukelik, 12 points. She had 8 rebounds and 4 assists. Muse, she scored 2 points, and then Sienna Betts had 6 rebounds and 9 points. For Maryland, Okanawana, I think that's how you say that, she had 25 points. Poffenberger, Barger had 15 points. Mack, 12. Garzon, she looked pretty good, but she was just off. She was not hitting her shot. She only had 7 points for them. And then you had a couple players with 2 points, and that was it for Maryland. So UCLA gets the win, and moving on, they have now played, at the time of making this, they played Purdue. I'm going to go take a look at that and see what happened there. Let me see here. I'm looking at Maryland. Hold on a minute here. UCLA is ranked 3rd. They're 17-1 at this point. They beat Purdue 96-48. So maybe I'm just gonna look and see what happened there. Another five players in double figures. Kiki Rice, 15 points. Her and Lauren Betts had double doubles, 10 rebounds for both of them. Lauren Betts had 16 points. Hawkes, another good game for her, 25 points. Neepkins, steady Eddie, 14. And Ledger Walker, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. So, and then Sienna Betts had 6 points. Dukelik, only 4 points for her in this game. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to take a look at it. But I don't think I'm going to do a video on it. 18-1. Again, they scored over 20 points each quarter, 22, 24, 22, 28. And Purdue just outmatched. They're 10-9. And UCLA is now 18-1. So who does UCLA has? Let's see, Purdue. They have Northwestern coming up. They're not a ranked team. Next ranked team, they're going to play Iowa on the first. Although Illinois is a good team. Let me see what they are. Illinois. Illinois is 15-4, so they're no slouch. Let's see how the Big Ten is. Let's see. Yeah, Iowa is ranked second. They are 17-2. Ohio State's 18-2. Michigan 16-3. Michigan State is 18-2. Then Illinois. So, and then Washington and then Maryland's behind them. Purdue's way down the bottom. Wow, Penn State is 0. They are 7-13. You know, when I played, Penn State was such a good team. They were a really good team. Just crazy to see them not. I mean, it happens. It happens. They were a perennial in the 80s. Renee Portland was their coach then. They were very good then. Never won a championship, though. But anyway, that's it for this one. I'm going to cover some other teams. There's some. I want to look at Vanderbilt because Shea Ralph is their coach and former UConn player. I remember when she was playing for UConn. She ended up getting a really bad injury. So anyway, that's it for this one, and we'll see you next time.